Hey guys, cool on my back. I'm Rick.
I'm Maggie.
And we are here with a movie that the two of us are going to watch, which is A Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex.
Solid State Society.
Solid State Society. Indeed. Which I believe takes place after Second Gig. I don't know what it covers, what it references, any more than that. Just that it's in the same continuity and that it takes place after.
Okay.
We've already seen.
Everybody's still alive, last we knew. Everything's good. Everybody's happy. Everybody's still working.
I mean, I would say happy.
The Prime Minister's the Prime Minister.
The status quo pretty much was unchanged. Kind of. By the end of the last time.
I guess there's still refugees.
There's still refugees who don't have many rights. The Americans are trying to weasel their way into Japanese politics. At the behest
Again.
Of some people in the Japanese government. So, yeah.
So.
But I'm really curious to see what this movie's like. Like if it has a bigger animation budget, or like what's it going to feel like? Is it going to feel like, a few episodes put together? Is it going to feel like an actual movie? Because like anime OVAs can kind of go either way.
Yeah, so it's like I grew up watching Doctor Who, and those were like episode arcs, but each one was basically just a movie.
Yeah.
And so the quality never really like jumped hugely when it was the movie or something like that.
I don't know. I'm really curious and I want to get into it. So let's go. As is common with Ghost in the Shell, my brain is overwhelmed. I'm a little confused.
Very. Like, I think I get, like, the overall idea. Basically, you have two semi-illegal things happening at the same place, and they kind of tripped over each other.
I'm especially confused because it's called The Puppet Master. Because in the original Ghost in the Shell movie, that antagonist is also the Puppet Master. Spoilers if you haven't seen that movie.
What?
But what she merges with at the end is the Puppet Master. It's the AI that went rogue.
Yeah.
So I don't know if... I don't think this can tie into that because... Like, the first time she encounters the Puppet Master, we see in that movie. And the first time, it doesn't exist by the end of that. So, it can't exist here, but maybe it's kind of using the same idea.
Maybe, yeah. Kind of like a, alternate universe sort of things. But I am... So... The Puppet Master is basically, on an incredibly basic level, was it just like born out of her actions on the net, kind of?
I think so. I think was born like as part of her ghost, and like because of the nature of who she is, and like she's an orphan, right? Mm-hmm. Like grew up the way that she did, like. There was just this desire to provide for children and to protect children.
Oh, okay.
And like that turned into this entity, which...
It's like, no one is good enough to take care of children except for me.
Yeah, so like it wanted to kidnap children, but it only took children that were going to meet a terrible fate. Mm-hmm. And I think the idea was to house and educate those children using funds from the old people who wanted to have like a legacy, basically.
Yeah, so the old people wanted to basically be able to leave their name, their value to another living thing.
Yeah. And so use that in order to give these children a new life. And that got corrupted by Mune, who wanted to brainwash them and turn them into the perfect Japanese citizen.
Yeah.
But this all happened, like I don't know how long this has been going on for. At least 2 years, but maybe longer.
How long? Yeah, like they had 3,000 kids there, at that moment. But there was 20,063 that were apparently missing, possibly?
Or that's the total number through the entirety of the program?
That's what I'm saying, is that, like, if one single batch is like 3,000 kids, you're looking at a lot of batches here. And, like, what about the smallpox ampules, all that stuff? Maybe that was the because General Karam also wanted, like, there was like three different crazy things, like, all just like hitting into each other, because you had the General Karam people trying to, like, kill Japanese people as revenge. You have, like, this revenge storyline happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not super clear how all that fits in.
I think it was just
if it's
happening.
Just a distraction.
Yeah, I think it was the red herring. That noble rock, really creepy.
So the Major was just playing a chess match against herself. Mainly,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. And there was just other people in the vicinity. She, like, also erasing their memories.
Was that...
And giving the kids the new identities and such. It's just...
Is that Mune's influence? Or was that part of the Puppet Master's plan? Because, like, I could see... Like, if the idea is...
The Puppet Master was basically trying to take away kids before they got traumatized and before they were killed or before all the bad stuff happened. Basically remove them from that likely situation.
Yeah.
And put them on the road to success. Mm-hmm. So, but no crimes had ever been committed against them.
Sure.
They were just,
It's like a Minority Report situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But, like, it just doesn't make much sense with, like, the whole memory erasure aspect.
I mean, I guess, like, if they have been abused and, like, you want to give them a clean slate, you erase that stuff.
Sure.
Or if it's Mune, you need to erase that stuff so they don't know where they came from.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess you have to erase that stuff no matter what, or else the operation gets found out, right?
And memories are such a... Maybe she just has an intrinsically different view of memories based on her existence. It's like maybe she doesn't... Because a lot of this stuff, it makes me question, like, how she views the world as opposed to, like, everybody else. It's like, because she has gone through this cyberization treatment, she was one of the first people to be fully cyber. It's like, maybe she does just completely view memories and such as just kind of like an aspect that can be adjusted at will. But that must have been going on. When did I don't remember when they said when the Sacred Citizen Relief Center was built and such. But apparently the education planning stage, like, the puppeteer had been involved with that from, like, the very beginning. And then Mune just, hopped on the bus later on.
Yeah, there's a lot of, there's a lot of stuff in this. Like, just the idea of basically automating nursing home care. Like, having a centralized system so there's no, like, human interaction with these people who, like, need and deserve it, but they're just sort of allowed to fizzle out.
Well, it's like, how do you decide, like, if they need that human contact, but if the human part of the equation is becoming more and more and more expensive because your workforce is shrinking, your birth rates are shrinking. I mean, this has been happening in Japan for, like, forever, that I know. And how does a country deal with that? But then, like, how do you deal with that then? Because there'll always be more older people than there are younger people. And then, like, how do the younger people succeed when they basically have the weight of taking care of all the old people on their back? And how do you have the time for everything? It's like, you can't raise the next generation if you're still taking care of the previous generation. There's just not enough people to go around.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, it's the same theory that we don't need 40-hour work weeks anymore, right? Where, like, the amount that a person in today's age with today's technology is able to produce far outstretches what they were able to do 50 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So I would assume that continues in this world where, like, because of technology, people are producing more. Or just society at large is producing more than it ever has before. And that makes up the difference.
But if you have people basically being able to lead more relaxed lives, where they're not like, I mean, they haven't taken care of the people at the bottom of the pile yet. Like, you're never gonna jump over that hump of like, oh, we don't have enough people being born, we don't have enough workforce being created. You're never gonna get past that until you can bring the people from the very bottom up. Because, I mean, when it comes right down to it, when you give humans free time, they make art and stuff. Like, if people don't have to create as much to just feed themselves, does that mean they wouldn't feel the need to, like, have children or reproduce? I feel like that's the big thing holding a lot of people back from having kids, is that, like, kids are freaking expensive. And if they technically don't actually have to work that much because stuff's being created enough because of technology. Like,
maybe. I mean, I don't know, like, what the resource limitation in their world is.
It must be something more genetic, right? Like, there must be an actual, like, issue with reproduction being...
No, I'm talking about, like you're saying about kids being expensive. But, like, are they not able to grow food in this? I mean, like, genetically engineer food, not need, like, farmlands or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like what is scarce in this world?
And the puppeteer specifically mentioned recycling ghosts.
Well, I think it's like you take the ghost of this child who has no future, and you recycle it into one that does.
Yeah.
Is the idea, right? So you make them reborn, in a way.
So we're no longer losing, even like the old people when they die and, you know, their ghosts or go away, but everything that was them kind of becomes into the children.
I don't think
all their value and such.
No, that's what maybe.
At first we were thought, oh, they're just taking over them like that.
No, yeah. I don't think that's what's happening. I think that...
But their economic choices are then going into the child, so they're not just disappearing.
Yeah, it's not going to the state.
Mm-hmm.
But the children are being wiped clean and giving another go-round, basically.
Yeah.
Is what's happening.
So I guess the real question is, do the ends justify the means?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
As a parent?
It's like way beyond what my brain is capable of in this moment. Of like, how do you, like, is it better that those children, you know, die, or is it better that they're reborn? And, like, how do you handle that?
Well, I mean, how do you... It's a Minority Report situation where it's like, we don't have the means of determining the exact outcome of a situation. And so any choice that we make, like, avoiding a certain outcome, it's like, you never know if it was actually needed.
Yeah.
So the more extreme of choices you start having to make at that point.
But even if it's not retroactive, if it's after the fact, like, if you have the ability to erase a child's abuse from their mind, like, should you? Like, if you can remove all memories of them being abused, would that be better for them? Like, that's
it's just
kind of
hard
what
because, like,
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind deals with.
Yeah. It's just hard because, like, don't know if there's something or someone in existence that could make that sort of decision about like what to leave, what to keep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'd be playing God.
Yeah.
Right?
You'd be making choices.
You'd be making life in a way.
Yeah. Treating their path. Which is why Moon was so in there. Like, I can be God.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's a literal manifestation of, like, what society tries to do anyway, or different sects of society, right? Like, religions want to make new believers, and this political school wants to make more voters for their political party in the future.
But on the opposite side of that, I felt like the key phrase that was cited in the show was actually voiced by the boss man, where he's like, I won't own anything that I can't take to the grave.
Sure.
So, like, he's all of his effort and investing is all on the inside, and it'll be gone when he's gone. Make the biggest bang while he's here, but, like, he doesn't expect to leave a legacy. So he's kind of like the exact opposite, where most of those old people, they were like, I need a legacy. And he's like...
Well, Section 9 is his legacy, right? Like, he wants to build it up into... He has a vision for it.
Yeah, it seemed like even he thought that vision only had one eye without the major.
Well, she's back, seemingly.
Yeah.
The Togus scene with his daughter was one of the best scenes from the series.
Yeah.
It would be so scary being hacked and, like, taking your daughter to go and be brainwashed to forget that you ever existed.
Yeah. Like you'd have to make that choice. Like, all those thoughts would run through your head just that fast, and you would make that choice right then.
So the puppet master gave him the choice, or did he partially break out? Because he said, like I have the choice once he got control of his arm. Uh-huh. But was that intentional? Like, was it like testing his resolve?
To be a good parent?
Because, like, she didn't fall under the normal protocols for any of this stuff, but he was being punished because he was interfering, I think.
Yeah. And the major still stepped in and was there to, like, stop him from doing it.
Yeah.
Like, kill this. Prove that you're a good parent. And sure enough, he did. Proved it to the puppet master and to her right there. And she even set him up.
Yeah, it was very Abraham and Isaac, right?
Yeah. Which?
Although the roles reversed almost.
Yeah.
Where, like, Abraham would have had to kill himself. But yeah, crazy. I can't pretend that I understand all of it.
No. I was really emotionally struck by that scene with Togus and his daughter.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like, it's
when you feel
so
your
effective.
When you feel your child threatened, the speed at which your thoughts can flow and to come to a conclusion in a plan of action that may seem incredibly drastic, it's very fast.
Now, this show's great at, like, I care about the characters and I get emotionally invested, but also the logical side of my brain is just firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
It's like, it's trying to keep up, trying to piece it all together. And I need a cyber brain to do it. I don't have it. But eventually, once I have one, I'll be able to watch this show again.
Gosh.
It all makes sense.
Then we have to worry about modders for our cyber brains. I don't know.
No, I definitely want to watch this again at some point.
Yeah.
Just the whole series.
Remember.
Well, we still need to watch the second Ghost in the Shell movie as well.
I hope it's not quite as a...
Read the manga.
Brain melting episode.
But yeah, a good story. It didn't.
You barely even touched into those tattoo people.
She got the Tachikomas back. Pieced them together from cyberspace, which is just like, well, like this.
Maybe her efforts to get the Tachikomas back kind of led to an escalation of the puppeteer's actions.
Well, it just implies that, you know, the Tachikoma still partially exists in cyberspace, and cyberspace is just so vast that no one can know all of it. And, like, what's developing out there is unknowable, in a way. It's
terrifying. And also exciting.
Yeah.
Because I also, like, a little part of me is, like, with all the issues we're having with AI now, and talking about it, and determining laws that haven't been decided, and rights and such, it's also one of those things that's like, is this also the abyss we are hurtling towards?
I mean, even now with, you know, the limited things that AI can do, like the way that they develop, like humans can know the parameters put in place, but they can't tell you how it got there at the end, right? Like,
Is a collective unconsciousness. I would rather know how it got to those, like, to the conclusions. Like, I feel like that's the far more interesting thing, is figuring out where the pathways went, rather than, like, just what the answer is.
yeah, I mean, you can set up the tests, and you set up, like, how the bot makes the tests, and, like, how it learns, but, like, knowing what it learned is a lot harder.
Yeah, because, like, we as people, it's like our memories are one thing. It's like that makes us up. That's part of us. But how we are coming to decisions matters a lot more than, like, what the actual answers are. Because for a lot of people, like, a lot of that stuff will be totally unconscious for most of their life. Like, Bato, like, gut instinct.
All right, my brain is fried,
Yeah,
but I really liked it.
it was amazing.
You got anything else?
Not really. I have notes that make me seem like a crazy person, which probably means it was a great movie.
And I loved the animation and
Oh gosh, yes, it was gorgeous.
the music, like,
As soon as
production.
it started, I was like, oh, okay, I feel safe. Whoever
So-
made this
Top notch,
did good work.
for sure. All right, thanks, guys. See you next time. Thank you guys for watching our reaction to Ghost in the Shell. Make sure you're subscribing so that you can check out more reactions. And Maggie and I hopefully will be getting back maybe to some Haikyuu in the near future.
That would be nice. Just some straight, like, physical
Hype!
physical
Haikyuu.
Yeah.
Maybe coming soon.